Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to edit your order template. Your order template automatically generates daily orders. You will set up your template with the products that you want to purchase or make and the amount of each product that you want by day of week. You can also set start and end dates for each product. In time, you may want to set your templates to forecast. If you do, your forecasted quantities will override your set quantities. Templates do not need to be adjusted regularly, if at all. You should only make changes when you want to see permanent changes to your orders. Let's assume your login type is location user. Once you log in, you'll be in your store. If your account is set up with workflows, select the correct workflow. In this example, it's going to be number 2. And select Edit Order Templates. You'll be directed to the correct place to edit your template, and you'll have directions to follow. To see the directions, just select the down arrow caret. Okay. I'm going to assume that you don't have workflows and show you how to use your activities menu. Select activities from the top, orders, templates. Confirm purchase is selected. Or if you're making your products in store, you would select work. We'll assume that you're ordering from your kitchen and keep purchase selected, but you would edit your work order template in the exact same way. Okay, so let's go to our template and select edit. Okay, first off, you have a scroll bar on the right to navigate up and down, and you have a scroll bar at the bottom to go right to left. Okay, all of your products that will be on your orders are located on the left-hand side. And then the days of week are noted at the top with the quantities that you filled in that you want by day of week. So for example, the blue rainbow ring. On your order, on your Sunday orders, you will have 12. On your Monday orders, you will have 12. On Tuesday, 12, and so on. Okay? If you were to leave quantities blank, like in this example with a Happy the 4th, you would never see this product on your order. It would not generate because it's blank. But if you had a 0 in these boxes, you would generate orders with 0 quantities. You may want to have some products with 0 quantities if you are reviewing your orders daily and want to be prompted to enter a quantity versus having a default quantity appear. Let's go back to the top and just work our way across. We've talked about the products. They are broken down by categories. Then you have this star icon. Okay, that star indicates that forecasting is turned on. And you can see if you hover over it, it tells you that. Okay, the flag indicates that there is a rule or rules in place. Okay, the kitchen places availability rules on products. So you may see some products on your template that are actually not available. For example, I happen to know this Boston Cream USA is not available because the kitchen rules override any dates that you put on your template. Okay, so you happen to have an end date here, and that's considered a rule. But if you want to see what the rules are, hover over this caution sign. And the top rule is the kitchens, and it tells you this product is not available any day. Okay, so even if you didn't have that end date, which is the second rule listed, limiting the availability, if you didn't have that, you still wouldn't be able to order this Boston Cream because the kitchen has a rule. Okay. Keep coming across. So then we have our days by week, and then our quantities, and then our start date and our end date. Okay. The start date is the first date that you want the product on order, and the end date is the last date that you want the product on order. So for example, the apple cider, the last day, the last order this will be on is 11:30. Okay. On 12/1, it won't be there. So that end date includes that last date. LTOs will have end dates, but most other items will not. Only enter an end date if you don't want a product on your orders anymore. Okay, let's continue across. Here's where you will see forecasting set, if it's set. Depending on your account, you may not have 3 options. You just may have the standard option. Okay, and note that if forecasting is set, these daily quantities are going to be ignored. Okay, even though you're going to see these template quantities, you're going to have forecasted quantities. If you wanted to see what those are, you would select more. There's that star icon for forecast, and then preview forecasting. And that would show what's going on behind the scenes with forecasting. Okay. If you are forecasting, let's go across some more. And back up to the top. So if you've got forecasting set, you may want to set a waste factor or a waste minimum. You would not do this if forecasting wasn't set, okay? But a waste factor is a percent. So this is saying 10%, we're going to order an additional 10% of what's forecasted for a waste factor, okay? And this is saying this is one piece additional, okay? If you don't have forecasting set, those will be 0. Okay, you can edit your template. You can add products to your template if the kitchen has the product mark supplied, and you can remove products from your template. To edit your template, you simply go into any field that you want to edit and make the change or changes and save changes. So let's go to that blue rainbow ring, and let's assume they're selling like crazy on just the weekends. So we want to increase on Saturdays and Sundays our weekly order to be 50 on both Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so go ahead and just in the actual box, go ahead and type the new amount. And we've done that for Sunday and for Saturday, and come down and save changes. Double check your work, and yep, there it is, Sunday and Saturday, you're going to see 50 on those orders versus the 12 that were there. Okay. Note that if you have a long list of products and you want to quickly search for the one that you want to edit, you can use this filter box. So go ahead and filter, type in a keyword like Boston for the Boston cream that you're looking for, and it pulls up the Boston cream and the Boston cream USA. And you can just do the same thing. Go ahead and edit. If you don't save changes, nothing is going to happen. Note that you need to go back, when you're done, go back in and clear that filter, or you're just going to see the 2 Bostons. Okay, and it's going to bring everything else back. Okay, to add products to your template, select plus add. Okay, and from your production catalog, add the new product. Okay, so we're going to select this chocolate donut. Just select the box and then select products. Okay, and then come across and put the template values that you want for each day. Let's go ahead and assume we don't really have any history on this, so we're just going to go ahead and assume that they're going to do 20 on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to skip over and do Sunday, but we're only going to do 10 on the weekdays. Okay, so just quickly fill these in. Okay, and we need a start date. We always need a start date. It defaults to the day that you're adding, so we're just going to go ahead and let that default to today. End date, we're not going to put an end date because we're just going to continue to offer this. Forecast, we're going to copy the other forecast settings and go ahead and put settings in this case. We're also going to copy the waste factor and the waste minimum. So we're going to do a 10% waste factor and a waste minimum of 1. Now the greater will be what gets applied. And these waste factors are really for your merchandising to add additional product to compensate for waste. Okay, come down and save changes. Okay, so now you've got your chocolate donut on there, and you've got your template values, your start date, no end date, and everything is set. Okay? Great, so we've added the chocolate donut. Now to remove a product, let's say we want to remove the, I don't know, the America the Great. So select the America the Great by just checking the box. Come up top, this is where you added. Instead, select remove. You'll see anytime you're removing anything, a red bar is going to come up to indicate you're in removal mode. So go ahead, you're going to remove that and just save changes. Okay, and let's just make sure that America the Great, I always double check everything. Yep, and the America the Great is off. Okay, so we're good. If you're setting up your template for the first time, or if you're adding several new products, you may want to copy quantities from one product to another, rather than entering them one at a time. To do this, use the clone feature up top. Okay, so let's add a few more products first. So go ahead and select add, and we've got 3 new fall and Halloween products coming in. So let's go ahead and select all 3, the Happy Halloween, the Sugar and Spice, and the Caramel Cream, and select products. Okay. You see how these 3 items remain checked, okay? Then we're going to come down and find something that we want to copy. And let's assume the orange pineapple ring we want to copy, right? We want these same quantities in settings to be copied from the orange pineapple ring to our 3 new donuts rather than entering them one by one by one. So also select the orange pineapple ring, okay? Then come back up here and select Sloan. Select source. That's what you're copying from, which is the orange pineapple ring. Okay, and you see then how all of these numbers and features fill right in for you. So then you just come down and you select what you want to copy. So we want to copy Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The start date we're not going to copy because, and the end date we don't need to copy because it's blank. We're going to have the start date default to today. So I'm not going to select these, but we also want the forecast copy, the waste factor, and the waste minimum. Hit clone using source. Okay, and you see all of that information has filled in, identical to what the orange pineapple ring is, right? Coming across 2020, 3520, and so on. The date did not, the date defaulted today, which is great. Okay, so again, it's really important. You only use this if you want to copy the same information, obviously. Otherwise, you'd have to enter it individually. Come down and save changes. Okay. Let's take a look at this feature. We've covered add, remove. We talked about the filter when you're trying to filter for a product. We've talked about clone. Let's go into the more and make sure we've covered everything there. We talked about the forecast and how you could see those additional settings. Whoops, I skipped over details. Details will show you more about those rules placed by the kitchen. So there's that Boston cream, and you can see here it says clearly that it's available no days. So if you're trying to figure out what's going on there, this is another area you can go kind of try to decipher what's going on with the rules. Okay, so that's details. Forecast we've covered, in other words, to see what is behind the scenes to your template if it's forecasting. And one more, preview. Okay, let's look at preview. Change that to summary. And this is neat. This shows you how many products in each category are on order. Okay, so that might be useful as well. Lastly, if you're making any changes to your order template that you want to apply to any open orders that have already been generated, let's get back into that template before I continue. So templates, edit. Okay, so once again, if you're making any changes to the order template that you want to apply to open orders, select apply to open orders, right? This would only be for the orders that have already been generated. Okay, so if you don't do this step, your open orders or already generated orders will not reflect the new changes. Also note that if you make this change, if you make your changes to your template before your orders automatically generate, so say you wanted this new Happy Halloween to start on October 1, just make sure you make that change. In this case, your order template generates 3 days out, so make that change at least 3 days prior and you won't need to do this apply to open order step. But say we're running late and we just get it done under the wire and there are orders already generated, we need to apply these changes to the open orders. So go ahead and hit apply to open orders. You would select add if you're adding a product, update if you're making updates like quantity changes or date changes, and delete if you're removing a product. Or you can select all 3 if you're making multiple updates at once. We did, so let's just select all 3. Leave apply adjustments checked. Okay. The open orders will default checked, so these are the open orders. Okay. Select update orders and OK. We won't go ahead and do this now because this video is running long, but I do always double check my work. So you would go into orders, view orders, and just spot check to make sure those updates did appear on the green orders that were already generated. We've covered how to edit your order template. Thanks for listening.